Welcome. Today we are talking about the most important thing about how humanity separated itself from God and start to live or start to hate the Holos instead of, because all you have to know, we are internal mathematical beings, which is made up of sinusoidal waves, and we localize to this avatar on the Holos for us to learn, grow, actualize, and experience life. In the process of experiencing and learning, we also enjoy in in the process, because you do those under your course. You have to. That's why we say raise your consciousness so that you should be learning under your conscious will, not someone telling you to learn things that you are not interested in it. So what happened? Wait, what things? Because that govern that and the frequency domain that in everyone in this avatar is what we call is what God is. It's made of sinusoid waves. So how humanity separate itself from God within. That is what we focus. So once you are separated, like the avatar and your soul is not in line, then you end up start viewing the horrors as strange, as because you don't know what it is. Instead now of knowing that you are here to learn, you start hating some aspects. In the end, you also start to deny the horrors. Once you are denying it, the more you are denying it, the more it becomes boring, and the more you also now choose to go back to source, which we don't want. We want you to learn, grow, actualize, and experience life. So I have taken it from the article about things that can separate you from God, and you start viewing the world differently. You see, and start choose to live the horrors. What we also say the world we are living in, the planet with its it has 6 continents. Why people start now choose to hate to live in this forest and start doing other life. That's what we want to explore here. Remember, this is from reason and logic. You know what God is, but the religions they have conditioned this as that God is not what is here. God is in the sky. So once you are down praying, it's like you are losing your divinity towards the God that is in the sky, instead of gaining that energy for you and for your own personal growth. You take it and put it in something. In the end, you lose your true self, your internal self, the power self in you is. That's why you see yourself as trash, not worth any everything, and others who know who they are, they take advantage of you because of your like. So let's see three things that have been mentioned in this article that can separate people from God. So the first thing, the title is three things that distance you from God, and where they were having the have you ever felt distance from God? These three things may be the cause of you feeling distance, but this, who do you intend to about it? Whom do you believe about it? That is what the article is talking about. So one thing that separates is our own will. You see, so our own will, our own desires are in line of what we want to become, what we are creating in your mind, of whom we want to become, or you don't have. Because first You need to have free will for you to know that you are doing everything under your own will. If you don't have free will, then it means you are not doing everything not under your will. In the end, you suffer, you separate yourself from God. But first, you have to know what free will is. Then you have to know your will. Then you'll be able to do things at your own will. And your own will cannot separate you from God because it is in line. You know who you are, your wills. You can't blame on your own wish, on your own will, on your own wish. But if you are getting it from someone or you believe it, just think if you are believing God in the sky, like the way religion have trained us. So we do everything based on faith, based on prayer, while in reality we know that the fact you have to do for you to be happier, you have to do some, just do the straight thing. In the end, what happens? You lose. You are not doing those things at your own will. You are doing those things under a deity that is in the sky you are praying to. In the end, the deity you are praying to does not know what your free will is, does not know what your will intention of the soul of your God within is all about. In the end, you end up separating yourself from God. You end up being abused, even you might even start building some diseases that you never wanted to before. So, under topic of our own will, the the article says our will is rarely aligned with God's will. So yes, once you are in this whole one, the time you are born, it means your will is not in line with God's will because first you need to discover your God within. So how you are going to discover? You have to learn mathematics, apply reason and logic, and know that your internal mathematical information, you are internal. So there's nothing outside that is going to save you. You have to look within and find the kingdom, everything you want from within. So there are things that we want that, yes, are following His word. For example, you want to restore your marriage. This is clear in the world. God hates divorce. What God has united, man should not separate. But that's not always the will of spouses. So you can see what it is saying is like spouses, God can unite them one and man, but their own will might differ. In the end, one might choose other will, while the other might choose might have his own will based maybe just think if you have your wills are based, you don't know your free will. You don't know once you don't know your free will and you believe in a dead. Just think someone believe he's a Satan while someone believes he's a Christian, while these people are living together. What happens? Their mind archetypes might differ. In the end, they might start building up wars based on arguments and accusations that their idea, their ideas might not be of the same cause. But if each and every one of them know who you truly is, then they might be able to live together and learn from each other from a Christian perspective and some learning from satanic perspective because they know that all of them they are internal souls, internal mathematical information. So in the process of learning, they'll be actualizing and live by giving each other what based on equity, what someone needs and what are also other needs, and in the end, they end up having a fulfilled relationship. So it's a God in has perfect love wants people to live to love Him of their own free will. For his will to be done in us, we have to align our will with his. That is what I will say. First, you need to know who God is, that your internal self, then you have a free will. Having free will is saying no to something you don't want, saying no even to some cultural upbringing. That is what it means to have a free will. Another uh, another thing that can separate you from God is sin. So this is coming from the Bible, Isaiah 59. It says, "Surely the arm of the Lord is not too short to save, nor his ear to drown or to hear, but you your iniquities have separated you from your God." You see, your iniquity have separated you from your God. That is to say, your personal desire, that the things you have built based on ego. Majority of this is now the ego self. You know your internal mathematical information, but you don't need to identify by the ego. The ego is built up, maybe it might be built based on it, your education. Some build ego based on their education, some build ego based on what they believe, some build ego based on their family upbringing. All this ego self, it can separate you from God. Why? Because once you identify by the ego, others, they they don't. You view the other, you might view the other the threat. In the end, you can no longer love the other. You find it difficult to love the other, while in reality the other is also internal, so that you need to learn from, for you to have experience and enjoy life right here on the earth. So Isaiah about majority is talking about the ego self. You have to transcend your ego. Don't identify by the ego. The ego is I thing. I do this, I do this, I do this. You can't change me, you can't do it. All that is what ego is. So cannot help you. Instead, you have to transcend your ego, acceptance of what other point of views might be, and learn from the other. Also, you teach others of your own deeds. That is what transcending the ego is. And once you have transcended the ego and you have the free will and you have the free will, then you can not fall in a sin. Because sin, majority of people fall into a sin because one, they don't have free will. So once you don't have free will, you learn your things based on it entity that is going to judge you. While the thing that you are creating for yourself, they cannot be sinful. That's why for someone who know God, who God is, for someone who know that He is God, then he cannot sin. But what they do, he can know that what is it benefiting the other. If you are doing wrong thing to the other, then that's when now you need to say sorry or stop that act of hate, hating the other, because the other is also the same just like you. So you don't need to hate but to be together and learn from each other. And the last one is the the last, not the least, is the fascination with the world. You see, it's fascination with the world. Now it means if you embody yourself in the Holos, love the Holos instead of realizing who you are, where you are, and why you are here, then you end up losing yourself from God. You see? So fascination with the world, in the Holos is, remember, the Holos is for all of us to enjoy, interact, and learn from each other. And it's where we build collective dreams. So the other just know is mathematical information that can create different mathematical frequencies, and can project it on the Holos. And that's how we say we have to experience and enjoy in the process, you see. So if you are obsessed by the creation that we build on the Holos, it means now you have fascinated yourself with the Holos, with the world, you see, forgetting your true self, you see. Once you have forgotten your true self, then it means you get separated from God, because you do things based on your inner desires, your inner self. That in the end, you become less happy and you start hating the whole of that. The time you start hating the whole of is when you start obsessing yourself with the world. Yeah, so that is because of network. So here networks is poor. That's why it shut it down. Even in other streams, you also it might happen that you have seen those things happening. Just be patient with me. It's because of network, and I cannot do anything about it except being patient to the network, the way it is operating by that time. So fascination with the world. If it on this topic, you say if anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You see, this is also from the Bible, and it's from 1 John 2, verse 15. So instead of looking at someone's creation for you to enjoy it, then you become obsessed with all of your own creation, become obsessed with the world. Yeah, that is the thing. So John, you have to love the world. The things we build, the collective dream we build, is for us to enjoy it, not for us to separate ourselves from the other. No, we have to enjoy it, experience life together, and learn, grow. And don't forget to learn, because if you are not learning, then you end up losing yourself. So it continues. The culture of this world has nothing to do with God. You see, it means even the society we are growing in, we grow from, does not tell us the truth about our true self, our free will. It built on conditioning. So if you just follow the society conditioning, it means you also face the same problems about it, losing yourself, your true self. And it continues. The Bible says that the one who controls this world nowadays is the devil. People they scream of the devil because of the just how they see with the network. So all these are in you. Once they are in you, you have to discover them that you have all these things. They are not the thread. That's why once someone is telling you what they believe, just to know that the things he believes, you also need to share with him your the truth about it. That's how we bring this information out there for everyone to learn, for everyone to know the his or her own true self, not just based on faith and what society says. That is also based on faith conditioning and what the material world you can even think of how scientific environment we have created now. It's all our own creation. But if we don't look within and discover true self, then we might live life based on conditioning on what of being obsessed with the scientific, forgetting our true self. In the end, we separate ourselves from God instead of stay connected to it. Build things on your own free will. Then being a master of your own self and enjoy, create, and share with others. That is that I want to say. Thank, and it says the Bible says that the one the thanks to the human beings who handed over domination to him. You call yourself Christian, but you call yourself a Christian. Okay, it says you call yourself a Christian while you still do other worldly stuff. All these are happening because one of the society condition you have been to not choosing to discover who you are, going with what you see, believing in your senses, maybe we can say, because what helps us to interact in the horrors are the senses. So if you go for the senses, then this problem now losing yourself happen because the senses does not tell you the truth, that does not show you the truth. It's only mathematics, and you have to apply reason and logic.